education na sub-Sahara Africa. So say plenty people na Africa but they can't get them book learning from that time day to now. Forobe College don't produce plenty people na different profession them like engineer, lawyer, politician and other plenty one them. With all this, for restore the cultural heritage of the old Forobe College building, make development partner them like the American Embassy na Salone, Commonwealth Heritage Forum, Ministry of Tourism, and Freetown City Council come together for restore the old Forobe College building. Where in the talk, the first time head of department for History and Africa Studies na Forobe College, Professor Joyde Ali, talk about the importance where Old Forobe College building get to Salone history.
Old Forobe College played a decisive role in nation building. Its graduates formed the backbone of the colonial and post-colonial independence civil service, the judiciary, the church, and the education system. In this way, Forobe College helped shape West Africa's early educated elite and contributed meaningfully to Africa's long struggle for self-definition and self-rule. In recognition of its immense historical and cultural value, the Old Forobe College building was declared a national monument in 1955. Old Forobe College is more than stone and mortar. It is a symbol of Africa's intellectual awakening, of Sierra Leone's historic contribution to education. Let us recommit ourselves to preserving this heritage and to renewing the ideals it represents, so that future generations may continue to draw inspiration from the Athens of West Africa.
As the Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs na the body we get the mandate for protect, preserve and promote culture, historical and natural heritage sites them na the country. With this, make the Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, Nabila Tunis, talk about how the Old Forobe College building restoration project importance to the tourism sector.
This restoration project is not only about preserving architecture, it's also about restoring dignity, continuity, and purpose. By reimagining this space as a multi-purpose cultural facility, housing a performance theater, museum, and education center, this project does not only do something truly powerful, it further activates culture as an economic asset. It creates opportunity and it breathes new life into a part of Freetown that has for far too long been overlooked. Culture is a key driver of tourism, identity, and economic growth. We are doubling down on the promotion and protection of our shared heritage. As this year's slogan reminds us, for the year of culture and creativity, let we all with culture and creativity for better Salone.
Where in the talk, the project manager for the Old Forobe College building restoration project, Aissatou Smith, talk about the reason we make this project be tapped inside 2024.
Following a strong start at the Old Forobe College project in 2022, anticipated funding was unexpectedly withdrawn in February 2024 due to US policy changes. In response, the Commonwealth Heritage Forum took the unprecedented step of committing its largest ever single grant up to £300,000 sterling to ensure that capital works will continue. Remember, this is phase 2. This phase of work should be completed by May 2026 before the rains. With total value somewhere around £600,000, and then when you factor in the $250,000 that we receive in the first phase from the Ambassador's Fund, in the second phase of funding, we're looking at somewhere around $700,000.
As the Freetown City Council get big role for play for make historical heritage sites them, they in good position. This make the mayor na Freetown, even Akisoya, talk about waiting council they do for restore historical cultural heritage sites them na Freetown.
When you talk about cultural heritage, it is not just, although it's a very important part of it, the infrastructure, the restoration of the buildings. It's also a connection with our history and a sense of pride and inspiration that brings. And for us in Freetown, seeing this 1827 building coming back to life, I believe will be an inspiration, and not just for the current Forobe College, which I'm sure will be connected with this at some stage, but really for all of us as Freetonians. There is a move around the city to preserve our cultural heritage, understanding the value of that to our nation, both now and in the future. We've secured funding to restore the clock tower at Eastern Police. So the towers are coming off, and the original beauty and the functioning clock will be there. The work will start early this year.
Yvonne Akisoya end up for call of Salone people for preserve cultural heritage sites them na the country. For the Society for Radio Democracy, me na Alhaji Jallow dey report.
That report day. The program midday show they continue inside this edition to the Radio Democracy continue for look at the remembrance the way government be done declare as we don't start for do inside we prime program when at the Good Morning Salon, and the day na a day way for give space to plenty people will talk about this day with him and how important it be. So with continuation of we program on Remembrance Day, we dey continue also inside the midday show program for look at this day. And we can talk about this day, I get two studio guests. Them at the first welcome Momo Mansari, Chairman, Sierra Leone Association Person with Amputation. Good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Good afternoon.
Also, we get Abdul K. Swari, the director of Chile Advocacy Association, we serve the Kangi Young View as a civil society. Good afternoon, welcome to the program.
Thank you, good afternoon.
As people remember, the civil war will be last for 11 years. Now one will be out different after the war, different policy and recommendation they become, and inside the Truth and Reconciliation report, they may recommend say a day for day where they declare as we for member the one them we play the role for end the civil war. We be make January 18 at the day where the first time president Alhaji Tijan Kababi declare as Remembrance Day. But this day no be don't take effect yet. But this be enter see the current president Julius Malema will declare this day with the entitled Remembrance Day. And this na in line with the recommendation, one of the recommendation they would inside the TRC report. Waiting this day mean how important it be. The one the victim will still there alive and the civil war. Waiting they expect as this day don't be declared, they don't become a public day now way then therefore they recognize and remember the one that we don't die and the one that we not victim will they alive we play a role pan itself. But the start with you Momo Swari. 11 year civil war, so many people become victim. You na one pandy people we make on a form an organization on a title. The Association for Person with Amputation. And I don't hear about this Remembrance Day. On our way of the day, right? First of all, as somebody will be a victim of the civil war, also you can get a physical challenge problem. We hear about this day for say they don't day now where they don't declare we go make them member on our way survive or not be victim of the civil. For the civil 11 years labor or waiting for scanner you mind, you glady or not?
Yes, I'm glady. Glady because at 24 years from now, where TRC don't make this recommendation, we would expect her not even now, we expect her early. I'm glad because when the president Chadwick Julius Malema think and say yes important, now ain't go think about the TRC report chapter 4 we talk about waiting and waiting the affected people, the amputees were wounded. Waiting and waiting did the wait for implementer. And this pronouncement make it clear now say if anybody want for forget anytime January 18 you go remember you post yourself for being don't die January 18 you go sit down in a quiet corner and begin think about that person there. How this will be look like to you? How the war affect you directly? I affect this nation. We will wish again for let this thing repeat or not. And what make her glady, it can't talk at the right time, the president pronounce at the right time because the tension where they go every day that the political world is high. Then they get statements that within the give, what they call again for war, and they remind we affected. So there were no things say they do it bad. There are no things say they feel pain. So when they call for war again, it means the one can add more upon which them don't lay upon we.
So the day when January 18 don't be a National Remembrance Day. You don't talk about how it started with a little that. And according to you say you glady, right?
Yeah.
So as they don't pronounce this day, what in this day mean to honor the war wounded victim and other people that will be a survivor of the 11-year civil war?
We go use this particular date as a continuous reminder. We go use them for advocate.
Okay.
Every year. Because January 18 will be a day where we go to call stakeholders, responsible stakeholders, say this thing at the TIC reports. Now not do this yet, and not do this yet, and not do this. If you make a promise this year, you go to out of 5, you do 2. Next year to come, we will still remind you say yes sir, thank you. We go use them for thank them. Then we go use it again for reminder. Say you don't do 1, 2, left 2, 3. So we go use this again. We go look at and say yes. We don't forgive. But if waiting them promise or do for we, they not do them. Inside we not go take gun, we don't take cutlass. But anytime we lost anyone, we own people and we not amputee, wounded amputee. We always say God fair to kiss.
It's all not forgive. What about the other aspect we can say forgive and forget?
No, we go out for forget.
Okay.
Because if me, for example, before I actively they run, they do everything, then if now I do work out 1 foot or I do work out hand, for any time like for example I not get hand, they want catch me is when I common thing. One will say you can't catch on me is they are not get hand. I remember say if you not to this war, I for don't catch me for myself. If you not to this war, I for don't go take quarter for myself. If you not to this war, I for don't get implement where yanda. If you not to this war, so I for don't go pass through. So for that word forget, as long as you watch yourself, you no go forget. Okay. You go know what you do here.
Okay, I will come back to you. Continue for those inside the program. My name is Momo Mansari, Chairman, Sierra Leone Association person with amputation. They talk about how they feel as then one set of people we survived the 11-year civil war and we also be a victim of physical challenge. The program na made the show. They come to the CSO Abdul K. Swari. Una don't follow the issue for a long time. I don't advocate. For a start with you, what do you think about the January 8 Remembrance Day way government declare? Was it timely?
Just as we can say, it's better too late than never. And because imagine 22 years from the TRC report, we talk say for able to observe this day. We, if for be a Remembrance Day, for think, for reflect, remind, but what happened during the 11-year civil bloody war in Sierra Leone. And at this time, it is timely, irrespective of the hour we income, the minute we income, the seconds we income, way of which we will use as a day for reflect, reminds about what thing don't happen. And also we also use this day for talk to the young people of nowadays, because a lot of things that don't change. Now we live in the digital world stage, and by then their mobile phone that we've been there, so you know by that time and also for some of who we see, who feels it, knows it. And what about, and also the one where they know only left in their mind, they are not only psychologically trauma but also physically. So this is the day we really able for sit down and talk about but the more you able for talk, it will blow your mind. The more you're able for free yourself, you're able for relieve yourself, that even if something happen again in the country, that we not go back in the bush, we not go take cutlass, we get other way of things what would you do for remedy the situations. Like me, I always reflect before coming there. I think thank you so much for the opportunity, because I believe really see how Mr. Able for me let the voice be part of this process. Okay. Because I remember during the war, by then I'm 33 to 34, so just minus 22 years now. By that time, and like a boy picking 10 to 12 years, he's able for remember, he's able for think, he's able for also keep some memory. We will be small that time and day. I remember when me auntie go take me grandpa go take me from Kenema for come with me to me daddy na Tonya. That day na be a very sad day, if not to be the grace, the motoka will be sidompa, the for don bona. I remember where the man will be there in charge, it candong, it break the motoka. If you see for so a dress, that's in this small bubble like me. Where the man of candong, is say everybody they can't feel this motoka, they put fire para, everybody for die. But again, just like Kutu, they talk about leadership. Any leadership will get, any opportunity you get, how you able for change the lives of young people, the life of the one that with the day low or the way they above you. So it was this me until when I be the chief, by then I can when I Madam Ami, he don't die and I let God sorry for her in the blessed memory. So this guy don't talk all things for let us set fire by this boss. We be over 15, 20, that time in the way they come up line for Kana, only force they taken a road. That kind of thing they don't happen. So luckily, God using grace and power, this guy as a aid up, all madam candom, would I see this me anti see. And I say, hey madam, Pamendi, Boa Boma, be waiting can do now. Now you don't save the people there. Say if not to the handy, or if not to a goodness, I remember that by now a different thing. So that day that I use that particular day for say, if not to be the grace, like I wait till we talk so today, may not for even be among. Then again we come, we been there, na Kiama Udia. Kiama will not be the base, book fit so and I did the Kamajo they been base. So the Ekomog the rebel where they come, everybody where they try for targets that base day. So we they behind that side the gun shot alone for so they come to we. Then not only that one day, we family way and my sister I don't die and I let God sorry for her. Bio na one picking and God gear. So it was that day where they launch RPG. That RPG came made up for real like Kusa we don't so the picking they don't so the mammy they don't the picking they don't middle them the pali don't. So that RPG way in come the grenade it burst the zinc they come Usa you go now that picking the hand it go pa cut the hand come out at the age of 10 we cut that hand they come out it be therefore come the thing be therefore go inside the foam it wrap up the God make nobody not die. But at the end of the day, because of the blood, that time the hospital not the one, go na corners, come back again, the pikin not be able to survive. Since that day, my sister not born again. And live with that trauma day to even death in self. Then they even make the part to the one we father now pass away, his trauma. So in all of that thing there, how they look at them, how they talk about them, is they able for member for say yes. Not to be good side. Okay. So never again as a country we resort to that one day. We get remedy, we get other things that we want to happen. We will be able for user, for lay complaint, for channel we complain them.
Okay, continue for the with we Abuke Sware. I'm the executive director for Chilean Advocacy Forum. Okay, thank you very much. The program made the show. They continue today. They look at the National Remembrance Day, which is being President Bio don't declare as this day now in line with the 11-year civil war. Well, the program they continue and still on this issue. Will they take another story? Also, the chairman for the Monument and Relics Commission, Joseph Ben Kelfala, state government for use January 18 as when a National Remembrance Day for take action. Then we go change the status of people who suffer from the 11 years civil war. Na Salon, it talk this in our interview with Radio Democracy, where they talk about how the Monument and Relics Commission will work for support other institutions them. So this day will get national impact. Well, he talk more about this issue to Jaffa Mans Davis inside this interview.
Well, the proclamation came about after several years of work from me personally in collaboration with the Chief Minister, Dr. David Senge, and now Attorney General Alpha Cisse Esquire. Over the years, I done the push for make the government proclaim a National Remembrance Day because that's not be one of the recommendations that where the Truth and Reconciliation Commission say we for do after the Civil War. A day where we will decide for honor the victims, reflect on the conflict, and promote peace building efforts. Now that we don't finally achieve this day, Boko people they don't wonder why January 18 as National Remembrance Day. So the TRC go through several dates during the Sierra Leonean Civil War. and decide, say, the most appropriate date could be the day where President Ahmad Tijan Kaba declared the Sierra Leone Civil War over in Alunge on January 18, 2002, as the appropriate date for we proclaim as National Remembrance Day.
In all of this, how, as an institution, what do you think about the timeliness of them? You think, say, it late or it can the item?
Mickey always say it's never too late for a good idea. The TRCB intend say we would proclaim a Remembrance Day immediately after the war. But it not happen. And over the years, I don't lobby until we don't finally get them. We're not going to sit down and complain about whether it's too early or it's too late. Now at the time for that we come together as Sierra Leoneans, primarily for waiting at the major intent of a Remembrance Day, for deal with the remaining legacies of the Sierra Leonean Civil War, particularly in regards to victims and where they still suffer among we. And then also for make sure, say, we create systems going forward so that the next generation of Sierra Leoneans could learn about that conflict day. I don't want to let people then treat it like then other holiday. Then this is not so ordinary holiday. This is not holiday for let we remember, reflect, and commit to peace building as alone.
Okay, so with this, because the Monument Heritage Commission, they under the tourism sector, any lobbying or anything that they do now will impact the tourism sector. This proclamation gets any way they contribute for impact the sector?
Yes, National Remembrance Day, they impact various sections. Now, a National Remembrance Day, it will also impact the tourism sector because we Civil War history in a part of we past now, a part of who that we be. As violent as that conflict been there, I hope say would they take the opportunity for learn from the things that we make we descend into violence and strengthen with commitment to peace building. If the country peaceful, tourism they improve. I mean, nobody wants for going a country way unstable, and that make it important for we stop annually, commemorate, remember, and recommit to peace building process because we all know say peace fragile. Things can happen at any time, and that make I can constantly repeat say peace not a thing where God the give from heaven. Peace now the product of the collective effort of human beings. Now we they choose for forgive with neighbor and be compassionate to with neighbor. So now that make we need for continue intentionally for participate in this peace building process. But we also know say now certain things then go wrong and make we attack we self in the country because na civil war not so other people then come out aside can invade we. Now we self attack we self and kill we self for 11 years. We commitment now for make remember that they honor the one that we died during the conflict and make sure so we work consistently to make sure that this country not go ever descend into that kind of conflict. And once the conflict comes to be peaceful, tourists then go come.
Okay. So government through the Ministry of Information and Civic Education under our line say this day will be commemorated from the 14th to the 21. What I believe say every other institution when a government institution go they follow in that way. In my own space as a commission of the tourism sector, on don't plan any activities or any kind way for symbolize on our own remembrance as part of an effort to be do for Ladies' Day be proclaimed?
We all get the schedule of activities. We all, as a nation, get for participate. This commission or the staff get for do them parts in that Remembrance Day. But for me personally, before I can the commission, I be the run a center we then call Center for Memory and Reparations. Every year we host a remembrance ceremony at the memorial sites in Alunge, and then we also bring school picking them together for do community service. Usually then they clean the community or public spaces such as the government hospital. So this year we bring them together again for participate in that community service because I believe say when community fails it will lead to conflict. And the best way for build community, for create a community where they take care of itself.
Okay, so with this, I could talk about how this day can happen on Sunday. Many people sit at home on Sunday and things like that. I could talk also again about the Ministry of Information and other institutions leading this campaign for this National Remembrance Day. They don't talk about having a 2-minute silence. Why this is important and how this goal for impact the goal way the country want to achieve behind this this initiative?
I mean, the reason why we can take minutes of silence generally now for create an intentional moment of remembrance, for that we pause and reflect on whatever situation we will confront. And in this case, the first official national remembrance, and therefore we need for give people then 2 minutes for pause and focus on the reason why we they commemorate this day. And that make the 2 minutes of silence important. But me also believe say we need for go a little bit more beyond that. We need for take concrete actions for improve the lives of victims where they still suffer among we. I think say that for be one fundamental aspect of a National Remembrance Day.
So this would be the message.
I they encourage Sierra Leoneans them for take the time for participate in the various activities then with the Peace Commission and the Ministry of Civic Education don't put together, and also for suggest say if nothing else carry forward my idea of community service on National Remembrance Day. If you're not a teacher, volunteer with they teach you. You go church, volunteer with them picking in a Sunday school, and your community you can mobilize people then for join you for do an important community service. If you get enough resources, you can donate to people that we need. I suggest say if you get resources for donate, important for donate to the Amputees and War Wounded Association, because then they really suffer among we from the effects of that violent civil war.
Well, that's the chairman for Monument and Relics Commission, Joseph Ben Kelfala, inside our interview. They talk to Jaffa Mans Davis for the January 18 National Remembrance Day, and according to our government for take action them, we go change the status of people who suffer from the 11-year civil war. Still inside this same particular issue, one history professor Joe Eddie Alidon say government for using National Remembrance Day for build governance strategy for help address the issue we bring the 11-year war like bad governance, youth marginalization, corruption, and economic challenge. We talk this in our interview to Radio Democracy, where we talk about the importance of the National Remembrance Day and how the country can use them for develop and get to national peace. Well, the history professor Joe Eddie Ali talked again to Jaffa Mans Davis inside this interview. Let me get 18.
Well, you know, in history, dates they're very important. Before you they choose a date, you get for know the significance of that date. So we come to January 18. January 18 Remembrance Day come out as a result of the war we've been getting at this country from 1991 to 2002. Some people will remember say on the 18th of January 2002, President Kaba formally declared the war over. Na longe we be say the war done. So now on that date, President Kaba declared say the war done. Then when the TRC, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, where them set up for look into the history of the war, waiting cause them and waiting people them for do for reconcile themselves. One of the recommendations that we the TRC we make now for choose a date where we will able member waiting been done past and waiting we for do we will make waiting been done happen may not happen again. That take a very long. This was in 2004, and only this year, a few weeks ago, we President Bio formally declared January 18th as Remembrance Day.
So this declaration of January 18th as National Remembrance Day, even though it came out very, very late, but making this declaration to the country, what in this show?
Well, one, it show a number of things that we able member waiting be done pass with respect to the war. We they also remember the people that will suffer now the war. Then also the survivors who will left for let we reflect on what be done happen so that we not go repeat the mistakes them will be happen will lead to the war.
Also, in that kind importance there, so you don't explain. According to how the history been telling, how best you think say nowadays citizens them can better remember this day?
Well, one, we get for recall wetin happen. This not to fall blame, say na this do this, na this do that. But when we remember all the things we lead to the war not just happen overnight. For the Sanko and others, not just grab one morning, then he fed na this country. Although we know they justify wetin then do, but we get to understand the events that will lead to the war. So like bad governance, youth marginalization, economic deprivation, corruption, all them things that will lead to that war day, we for make sure say we not repeat them. Because when the war done, one of the slogans that will be there, never again. But never again, no, they come by itself. Now people them go make sure say it not happen again. And also Remembrance Day, we need for talk about peace. Peace very important, because if peace not there, we say we sit down so today, we not go sit down there. We know say during the war, it displays a lot of people. Nothing not been they work properly, past them illegal things then. But when peace come after the war, we now able for begin develop. Because you can lay down now with collard, do clean, you go about your business. They remember say people then they shoot here or then go hold you under. So why would they remember January 18 as Remembrance Day? One of the things we really need for preach now peace. Peace from the homes, the communities, and the nation. Because that's not the foundation of development really. If we not get peace, we're not going to do anything serious.
In all of this, government, citizens, civil society, and all other different sectors and get big role for play. Where the country don't get this National Remembrance Day now, how important it be for then different sectors of society begin all the role to accountability for play and fine?
Well, first we need for no say National Remembrance Day, although na public holiday, it not time like there on a public holiday who they come go na beach, go enjoy, do this, do that. This na a day of reflection, of what it don't happen. Then, as you say, every sector now the country get a role for play. Government get a role for play. Civil society get a role for play. Young people then get their own role for play. For ensure say that dark chapter now with history, 1991 to 2002, we not go back there.
According to governments, through the Ministry of Information and Civic Education, one idea or strategy where they want for use for make citizens and every sectors of society able for better remember this day, and they ask about 2-minute silence. This can get any impact towards the remembrance?
Well, yes, that 2-minute silence is important. For let remember, particularly the one that we lost their life in the war. But that's not just one aspect of the celebration. People then get for those, like young people can engage in community development, clean una area there, make sure say una talk to young people there, them bad thing the way they do, but they not for do them. Although not one day really, but me they look at a process where now continuous teaching. This year now we do it for the first time, so a lot of people don't know about them. But I'm sure in other years there, that message will don't go round now. That way we say national.
Well, inside the interview, they will listen to one history professor, Joedi Ali, where we talk for Seka the National Remembrance Day, where President Bio declared this BNTM, and according to it say government for using National Remembrance Day for build governance strategy them for help address the issue them. We bring the 11-year civil war like bad governance, youth marginalization, injustice, corruption, and economic challenge. Well, the program na made the show we listen to, and today we continue to look at the National Remembrance Day way na January 18. Inside the program now, na time for relax and take music.
so, Father Johnny so. Now you, now we Savior, now the Eastern region. Now you say we so, we say thanks to Sierra. We need this place then. We sorry oh, we don't lost with Mama, we don't lost with Papa, we don't lost with Ine. We not get food for it, we not get clothes for wear. We don't know which side we go. Now they father call me, he say we not wait. And they go all over the world, but go find oh no, and he go and he bring food for me. Now salo, now he dey and I'm done it so. Father done it so. Now you, now we Savior. Now the Eastern region, now you say we so, we say thanks to Sierra. Father Johnny so, Father Johnny so. Now you, now we Savior, now the Eastern region, now you say we so, we say thanks to Sierra. We displaced them, we sorry oh, we don't get place for good. We don't lost with Mama, we don't lost with Papa, we don't lost with the beginning, we not get food for it. Now they father call me, he say we not come, and they go all over the world, for go find no for feed the people, and they go and they bring food for me. Now to get them and now every day they let me day. Father Johnny so, Father Johnny so. Now you, now we Savior, now the Eastern region. Now you say we so, we say thanks to Sierra.
Hope so you don't get the message out of that song there. Inside this edition of the program, made the show today, Radio Democracy continue for look at the National Remembrance Day on January 18 from the music break. I come over to my studio guest Momo Mansai, Chairman Sierra Leone Association person with habitation. You don't listen to two people we talk in line with the Remembrance Day. Listen to the Chairman, Monument Relics Commission, and also to history Professor Joe A.D. Ali. What you make up of the things that we they bring out in terms of this day we President Bio don't declare, in terms of waiting for take into consideration and things that we for prevent, we for make waiting lead to the 11-year will not be back.
Well, with all waiting of profession say already in place, and let we know your stick the day like na day for celebrate. It's very important. Because the holiday they will celebrate, but this is not a celebration day. Now they all they reflect. And this we forget deep inside we hearts. Waiting with the talk, the one of us been starts with gun and cutlass. No. Now waiting with the talk. Then shoot out this war. People they say, yeah, if you want no for around this country, the country no go change. Pass one gun at this country. We gun can now. Now we the masses, now we suffer. Now we be done the with Maxwell Kobe. Some man go read the name like a strange name. We will wait for and we know what he mean. We echo mock the promise in the camp. The rebel they run after we. Then sign not for go. He said they go east the meter, go west the meter. He is don't money wait and God in prayer. And what will they talk or what will they send at the media? So are they better sometimes na letter, then tell them then a letter in the right. We go take time. But now I will sit down now what I talk to now as I talk to you so you don't go far and wide. What will they use on WhatsApp them? Okay, for minimize things that what they send. Not send things that will go ignite war again at this country. The one that they use the last select, the one that will get more power for use the radio station or talk in a public forum, let we they do with language that they use. Because if one game what way they use, so tell what you mean, not what this person mean, not so you go translator, it create problem. And when the problem creates, I will always suffer. So this thing, every year, as I said this, no, say we they use this opportunity. We as the amputees go use this for tell we picking there. When they don't see this one, but they see on a television, they feel and say that like now acting them, they act not to act to na reality. Go see somebody today to one foot go feel say na motor accident or na something na bike this and that until he tell you what he feel. For let somebody put your hand, say put your hand. They ask you side the cutter. Up or down, long sleeve or short sleeve. The answer say, "Pa, Nigella say anything is inside." Without mercy, take cutlass, chopper. How that person go and feel now? So no it will be at this. Some name will be a some man die. Some man not to the pain kill some, but after the war, in life never come again to normal. But who don't die? The thing that self we need for the think about when we can use this radio for remind the government. The government really know now how many people they don't die from the way were affected. We like example the amputees were wounded. They know how many don't die. No data about that. They don't know. So how you go able can do for them people there watching the TRC say for do when you know say they almost all left. These are the things that they can take reminder. Let me get a number. Say out of, for example, out of 250,000 that we amputate, 150,000 don't die. What we go do for the one day where they don't die? Then picking there. What we go do for them? What we go do for the one that will able to stand now? Majority will die so, not also like a major sickness so. But because of you not get the money for hospital, better hospital.
So you answer the status of some of them are not in good condition?
In good condition.
Okay.
The mind sick. Where you say somebody in good status good, the mind force, we mind is sick. That's one. Again, with the only effect for control situation because when somebody trauma, the stigma, it's just a managed situation, but you know it by yourself. Yes. When you looking at the streets of Freetown, you go see woman there who will not get an. Just imagine if woman they will not get an, I go to try himself. Just imagine if man will not get an, I go ask. He say one go use the restroom. How I will take care of himself. He lost privacy, so not to somebody will do by himself. Let's say now I'm gonna the restroom. I just care for need somebody where they go put me trusses door. If that person they know the, I didn't have disgrace. So all anything then they this particular day now a day would they use because the words what they use they ignite war.
So now in all of them here we don't make talk about so when are the status of una the victim them of the 11-year rebel war? Una get an situation, una get a body, right?
Yes.
Okay. What are the whole of that body there?
Well, the whole of the body. Now some of this thing that will be done, they go and meet office to office.
That's when I advocate on behalf of an company.
Yes. Now in don't lead where this thing don't shoot up. No advocate he could start and not to today the gap up.
Okay.
We get one pastor faith. He don't really push. He not to drive say now push the truck. Now push the truck for let move. If you this take come up today, some man not sabi, but we need for measure and say don't need push.
Okay, so in terms of declaring the dinner one, which one are they expect from government and other body them were responsible for ensuring say this day speak to the reality of why it was declared?
If I let the government get budget, wouldn't they put say every year they get when they put in a corner say if a neighbor give insurance safe to do handle them be amputate, but let the medical facility be in place.
Okay.
Because if somebody never guarantee for it to sick back, you know, get medicine, obviously they prepare in grief. So until you go get casanki for beggar. But if all that are done in place, disability trust fund if for day, that fund they go there, anybody, let's say all MDAs, they for able get her. Because if, for example, they talk about employment, and if you never employ the disabled, get a trust fund they put say at the end of every year January, then the occasion get for come. We will do the National Remembrance Day. Now we take this for fund that program day. Now we take this for help the disabled day.
Okay. Would they come back to continue to do it inside the program? More Mansari na a name and in the chairman Sierra Leone Association
Persons Association
with amputation. Well, the program they continue. Would they come over to a studio guest from the civil society perspective over to Abduke. So the day has been declared and everything, and if they make mention of young people with so many things that we do now. In those days, most of the things that they exist now was social media, access to the internet. Nobody now don't see the rising of drug abuse and other things. And you will make mention of young people in line with government declaring this day now one, but things that they do for prevent. Think they will go ignite or create tension. Waiting will be suggestion. Waiting you will talk in line with that.
So now, to be honest, the Ministry of Information and Basic Education, they really don't champion this with the little or no resources we don't get. For CC, how best the day itself, the awareness will be the outside enough for the area say this day, and I remembrance day that one day. Of course, that one day don't they. You go on the streets and you do a small assessment, you will know say each and every person don't remember say today like Remembrance Day. But we witness some of the things that we really want for see more of this day. Like want for see how we young people are able to give community service. We want to see how we really they watch some of like their movie there all they talk about the Cry Return, which this Suri Samoa do that film day, and we also want to watch the Blood Diamond. Therefore, be able for cut them into the half pieces, and they were able for send now the social media way of which the young people are able for watch it. They say so and so be happen. So this thing they don't happen so. That will not ever allow again for let that thing that they happen. At least we Big Brother they talk about the situations, and of which I've been listening. I've been fortunate for share a platform with Madam Samai. I think one of the key things where they lacking at the association, the mistake we government do that they try for blend the disabled to the world victim and one dead and the common category. And if you blend the people in a one category, they are not the same. Okay. So therefore able for really get a database we go show say these are the war wounded, these are the war amputee people we go show say yes at any point in time they will be able for locate them say na and at this and this government need for do for them, and then people and they we can use them as these are our we cannot say in country memory, but these are now then get the world in memory, now then they able for share whatever experience me go able for share now, but then one day we then get the physical tortured, the psychological trauma, they go able for really share that experience with we with the young people with that person you know be able for that 24 years or that 23-year-old young person will not be able for really see this. Their community services they will be able for give. How we be able for engage the school children about this day for let them able for members say this war will happen so the 11 years it affect every member of the people in this country.
Okay.
How we really able for slow for member all of that thing and the ministry try for 6 years they're able for come with people them together the awareness day, but next year we the hope say we'll be able for do more. How we able for put the civic aspect of them, how we able for because we'll talk about civic not about for say no this no more waiting I be your responsibility. Like what you this I so appreciate. I just get on to you because I just say this day now a day where me self my voice will be hard. I reach out to you say yes So these are some of the things that we can do without no resources, but we're able to make a great impact on the society.
Okay, continue for the with Abdulkadir Swai, the Executive Director for Children Advocacy Forum. Will they talk about the
lastly, the we also done it again. It don't minimize from after election. We don't see the issue of the hate speech where somebody go.
We'll come to that. Continue for those who now they look at another issue. Side Deputy Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, Khadija Grace Kamara, say for showcase the country custom and tradition and the outside world. This make the ministry a plan for work with people and organization and for develop system. Outside people go they make things about culture and creativity and also give a bit to young people but then I talk this to reach democracy where we talk about the tourism theme for this year when our culture and creativity. Well, Deputy Minister of Tourism Khadija Grace Kamara talk more to Sonia Bell inside this interview.
Well, last year I would say we really do well as a ministry in terms of drawing the attention of the world to Sierra Leone and within Sierra Leone thereabouts in terms of festivals. We successfully do one reggae festival last year. We bring not only the people of this nation together, but we also bring prominent Jamaicans into the country. We contribute the leverage for say Sierra Leone is open for tourists, we're open for business partnership and collaboration.
Okay, so last year the theme for tourism, ecotourism. So how are you able to assess on a performance you think to achieve the ecotourism aspect?
If you ask me, I think say Rome was not built in a day. There's still room for improvement. There's a lot that we could have done better, but we still do what we're able to do, and we learn from what we do and the result where we achieve in terms of ecotourism. We can always tell people there's a tourism business now, online business, and the ministry open for lay people that will share ideas, inspirations, and things that we will use for draw attention to people in the country. I think say if I don't do more of sensitization going at the villages, districts, different towns, just as we draw attention internationally, then we also draw attention locally, because when you get the people of the nation abreast and you give them ownership to whatever theme is for the year, I think it helps and makes our work better and easier at the ministry. So what they do now just for oversee and supervise then different things here with you.
What are some strategy we use for supervise all this will happen?
Well, this year I am mostly excited because this is something that's very dear to my heart. And one thing I believe say if Sierra Leone chime on and own to we will go far in terms of not only tourism but as a nation. This year it's a very significant and important year for we. As you know, Sierra Leone is turning 65. It's a big deal, and we theme this year in tourism is culture and creativity. And all man we know that nothing I'm the queen of culture in this country, whether people agree or not. I do my best to sell, to represent my nation in every facet that I can. And so for me personally, waiting me to look at my own small activities. I for reach out to different districts, towns, communities, and then we get the people then together, whether it's different tribes, for let me showcase we culture. And this year again, we celebrate first ever gastronomy, which is a big deal. Within our gastronomy is about food. When we cook real native food and traditional food and showcase to the world. Say this is Sierra Leone. This is what we eat. This is how we live our healthy lifestyle. The other thing we do this year, of course, we get Budapest. They come back this year. We get from February, I think February 8th. Now we get about 792 people that already come out from about 20 countries where they come into Sierra Leone. Whether they can do the finishing run inside Sierra Leone, then people there will end up for sell them motorcar to people. So what you want for do? I for give an opportunity for letting people there see, feel and experience Salon culture. Okay. So from Balamuya where they receive them, take them Bure Beach, and then we can do finishing along the beach. Let's go.
Well, inside our interview day, you will listen to the Deputy Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, Khadija Grace Kamara, where they talk to Sonia Bell, USA SA for showcase the country custom and tradition. Now other parts this make the ministry they plan for work with other organization them, both culture and creativity. As I say this year, the tourism team now culture and creativity. The program they show they continue. The Radio Democracy continue for look at the National Remembrance Day when January 18 as we remember the 11-year civil war will be happen. Over to you, Mr. Mansari, from the Association Persons with Amputation. Declaring this in one, the involvement, the access for loan self good your suggestion and count board for loan able identify the truly people and so a victim. A very important for where they don't declare this day where Ministry of Civic Education don't they arrange put things them in place. Which not be on involvement in all of this.
Well, we involvement this year really they low. You know, we're not able to showcase.
Now they talk about from the moment they declare the day.
Now they say so.
Okay.
Because like I write so many side for let this be a day they commemorate big, but I never get funding. But I go thank you I get this opportunity for council and talk.
Okay.
And again other great opportunity. What till we go left for let them they do? Let them get natural organization they na Sierra Leone where they deal with purely amputees. We get wounded and amputees. We now Mr. Mohamed Trawali in the header. Then I guess Sierra Leone Amputee Persons Association we now be the header. And if the government want to do anything related to these amputation issues, disabled issues, let them get we on board.
Okay.
If I know they outside they cook, any how you put I will take and say no put fine. Nothing for us without us. Now only way I involve, no go loud not they look at and this we say because we not disabled, we need to do things by ourselves. But when he gets me involved, my own sense plus your own sense we put them together and they come up big.
Okay.
But if he said that they go do for me, probably not the right way they do it for me.
So the program almost they come turning. Waiting will be your call, your immediate call.
The immediate call let the government pay attention to this particular date and implement what's inside the TRC. So that victims go see say yes, then get them damage, then picking them go say, well, Papa been get this damage, then cut and then cut your foot. But now these are the package where they gear for that. So they go use and push him picking for educate so that poverty no go be in cool cap.
Okay. Okay, please thank you to you, Momo Mansarina, the chairman, Sierra Leone Association Person with Amputation. We can talk about the Remembrance Day. Over to Yabuke Swari, going forward, waiting as a voice, a CSO voice, waiting on the expect. Government don't declare the day, yes, now one. But for let the day speak to reality or make the expected impact. Waiting at the immediate suggestion the way you will bring out.
And I think we'll be done to talk about so. For CC how we'll be able to engage more community members. Of course, the ministry, as I've been said, they don't try, but they need to come with the more of the victims them on board, and also engage young people, because all of this will be happening. Who we are really affected? These are young people. So like this part, by then this part will be young one. The young people, but for them on board, for telling them the story of what happened and how we go able to get the solution and how they go able to really get you all. No go forget another means of channel of communication if something don't happen when you ask one Musa you forgo. If we talk about the justice, if you go to court, let there be justice. Let there be not only be justice, let there be timely justice. Say yes, this will happen within 2 to 3 years. Able for tell you say you are right, you are wrong.
Okay. Well, let's take to Yabuke Swari, the executive director for Children Advocacy Forum. And also we get Momo Mansari, we in the chairman Sierra Leone Association Person with Amputation, as they talk about the Remembrance Day when January 18 for Sika, the 11-year civil war with Salon without experience. Plenty thank you to Naltona be with studio guests inside this edition.
Our pleasure, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Now, this edition of Lefi for today, we say plenty thank you to DJ Schoolface for your technical support. Fatmata Samoa make una watch we live on our Facebook page with support from Adeyemi Jackson. Minas up to you, Kalon. We produce and present this edition of the program. May they share and they say continue for listening to this fine frequency for more interesting program. With that, I say goodbye.